right rear is all seized up. The Italians are banging on it. They're trying to get this car back into the race. Marini is on Goodyear tires. I can see the fronts and the rears. They don't look particularly abused. Absolutely no blisters whatsoever, but this is a very long stop and very disappointing for the Italians and the Italian team. On the side of the car, you can see a yellow ribbon and American flag. A little bit of extra spirit here in Phoenix.
Well, the spirit probably not very good. As I mentioned, it's one of the new teams in the sport. The car has now been shut off. He's overheating. Oh, he's going to go out. He has not shut it off. I'll be darned.
Well, of course, when he's not doing well, the Italians say that he's French, and vice versa. And right now, Ferrari is setting up for a pit stop. We'll let you know who's coming in as soon as they arrive.
We are approaching halfway in this 82-lap race. There's Terry Boutsen, who'll be climbing out of the Ligier. That team using Lamborghini V12 power this year for just 1 year, and then they're going to pick up the French Renault engines.
Poor old Terry Boutsen, I fear, is in for not a great year. They're looking for the Renault V10 for next.
Ivan Capelli has just come in with the Leighton House team. He had shut the engine off before, coasted in. There is smoke coming out the back of the engine. The mechanics are going ahead and they are starting to work on it, but it seems doubtful that he'll be back out for any more racing.
Well, the Leighton House team has been in the news this weekend. A bizarre occurrence on Friday night when the team showed up. Let's get down to
John Alesi has arrived in the Ferrari pits. Everything going very smoothly. Tire change. That was one of the best stuff I've seen not only this year, but last year. The Ferrari boys acting perfectly.
Boy, I guess nowhere do you see. Well, watch out for Nigel's car there, John. If you're a world-class pit crew. Now, let's see what happened to John Alesi. Ricardo Patrese, under braking, went right by him. Alesi's tires must just be used up.
Well, Alesi probably tried to go a little bit too hard too soon when he was full of fuel. And we'll only know. Has John got some more information for us on that?
Alesi's front tires were very
Ricardo Patrese, plenty of time if there are no problems. The McLaren team goes to work.
As usual, a smooth stop there and a very quick stop for Senna. He's got a long way to go down the pit road here. They chose to pit right at the beginning. Drives past everybody, out of the pits, just misses.
Back in Phoenix, 2 of our top 5 cars have crashed on the backside on the Washington Street side of this racetrack. To the right of your screen, the number 6 there is the Cannon Williams Renault of Ricardo Patrese, who was running second. To the left is Roberto Moreno, who just crossing the racetrack right there. Here comes his teammate, Nelson Piquet, who now moves up into second spot behind our leader, Ayrton Senna. Let's take a look at what happened. Patrese hit the wall first, and then Moreno couldn't make the corner and drove right across his bows. Patrese says, I am out of here. Then it looks like either Alesi or Prost and the Ferrari hit the debris. Patrese makes a quick continues. There is fluid on the racetrack. This is going to be a dangerous moment. We'll fill you in on what happens when we return to the U.S. Grand Prix at Phoenix. Back in Phoenix, where Ayrton Senna leads the U.S. Grand Prix over Nelson Piquet, who just moved up after an accident suffered by Ricardo Patrese and his Benetton teammate. Let's take another look at what happened. There's Jordan just coming off the corner. Ooh, got very much sideways. He is sideways all the way around.
Sheep creeping. That what?
Oh, yeah, fine. Shake your fist now, John.
Now he pulls out in front of the third place car.
Piquet.
Boy, he's going to be popular afterwards among the drivers, I tell you. Well, of course, the spin, he couldn't help that, but he could certainly help pulling off. Now, that was very, very close for Alan Prost.
Working lap number 63 of 82. Let's take one more look at what Roberto Moreno was just talking about. There is Patrese, who has already spun. A couple of cars have gone by, but Moreno took the corner wide and could not help it.
Bad haze of smoke there coming out of the engine. Engine obviously on the blink, on the way off. That is the Judd V8, and there we see the engine erupting in a cloud of smoke and oil. That will put more oil on the racetrack, give these drivers yet something else to think about. This is coming into that turn 5 and 6 complex.
Interestingly, both of the Lotus cars, Julian Bailey, his teammate who did not make the race, suffered a yellow ribbon hangs from buildings all over Phoenix, Arizona. A happy time in America as the crisis in the Persian Gulf winds down. And we can turn to thoughts of sport. The world loves Formula One. More than 250 million television around him. Now here comes Prost right up behind Piquet. It's a drag race down Jefferson Street. It looks like Piquet might have the advantage. Prost may have to go 3 wide or risk running into his teammate. Alesi gives way. Prost will now test Piquet at the first corner.
Woo. Piquet went round there 2 abreast.
So we go from Alesi, Piquet, Prost to Prost, Piquet, Alesi.
Well, it must be a fuel pickup problem because he's back on song now. He's in severe trouble. Yeah, let him through.
Yeah, not without locking up the right front. There are points for the top 6 positions. 10 for first, 6 for second, and so on down to 1 for sixth. At this point, Alesi finds himself in 5th position now with that badly smoking gearbox. Let's take another look at that turn where Stefano Modena got underneath John Alesi and watch the right front tire lock up.
Coming up Washington Street.
Our left,
hard on the brakes.
Right.
Alesi is thinking he's not going to let him through, but as you can see, his right front tire.
There once again, John Alesi, arm up. That gearbox may have finally given it up. He goes straight on at one of the corners. Let's get down to John.
Well, obviously it is a gearbox problem when he
Doesn't look too healthy.
No. Getting bad smoke. I wonder if it's an engine problem and perhaps related to what we just saw with John Alesi. There is the number 3 Tyrrell of 5th place Toru Nakajima.
You can see from the front of his helmet, there's been a lot of oil sprayed around this place this afternoon. The front of his helmet is quite black there on the top. So a lot of cars have been dropping a lot of oil this afternoon.
This is the 6th place car. Now this is Pierluigi Martini, who stands to score a point for the Minardi team, but it appears he will not. The engine, that Ferrari motor, has apparently let go.
And Benetton, they about a year behind in development all the time, but there we've quite a regular little car park down at the end there. They got a long walk back. That's as far away from the pits as you can get, boys.
That's the far eastern end, which has just become a parking lot way down on Madison Street here in Phoenix.
Expensive parking lot. That's Suzuki in the 30.
We're in financial trouble with the economic downturn worldwide. A lot of the Formula One teams who need as much as $3 million just for travel. Not to mention drivers has cruised to the pole and now to the victory. The first 10-point victory in Formula One under the new scoring system. There's Alain Prost. 2nd place in the World Championship last year and 2nd place today on the racetrack. Here comes Nelson Piquet in the Benetton, who has not stopped for tires all day long. He will come home 3rd.
I'm sure they'll be relatively happy. I expect the Benetton people would like to have gone just a little bit quicker. But of course, you're dealing here all the time in just hundredths of a second. Except it seems for this guy here who deals in sort of big tenths.
4 cars remain on the lead lap. We have 8 healthy cars on the racetrack.
Coming up to the last turn. Waving to the crowd. Now that's not something you see Ayrton Senna do very often.
Ayrton Senna is doing a lot for his image this year. He gave us the thumbs up to our cameras after qualifying. He's been very friendly with the press, which has not been his way. I tell you, somebody has spoken to both Dale Earnhardt and Ayrton Senna this year, I do believe. They are both very friendly guys this season.
Take that, you. Yep, a happy man.
With his 27th career Formula One victory, this man, Ayrton Senna, on canvas and on the racetrack, has now tied Jackie Stewart for 2nd in all time. More Brazilian flags hailing the winner here in Phoenix. 15 races to come in 15 countries on 5 continents. Tens of thousands of miles yet to be
champagne out of his eye, and now he's having second thoughts and giving his drivers. See, Ron Dennis always says they have fun.
Al Rick de Brule is standing by with car owner Ken Tyrrell, who has 2 cars in the top 5 today. Here's Rick.